Okay, is uh let me go to my YouTube app and see if I can hear sound on my own stream. Hold on a minute. Oh, I can hear. Hold on a minute. Okay, good. Oh, hold on a minute. Okay, good. Oh, holy crap. Okay, sorry for the echo. My bad. Just seeing if the sound can be heard. It can, so that's my only issue I've been having with YouTube streams for the past few days. Okay, we are finally here. Welcome to my brand new stream in a long time on YouTube. Welcome to the stream. You're the only one here. Hang on a second. Oh, you're in that. Dang. I really picked that very skin. No, I can't do that. All right, my bad. Hopefully, more people join. I'm sure there's going to be more people joining. If not, oh well. I have had streams where not a lot of people join, just one. I'm completely used to that. I'm completely used to that. All right. So to clarify what this stream is going to be about, talking about all the projects that is coming out by the Mac Attack Entertainment, my YouTube project making studio. So it's basically my own kind of Marvel Studios type of studio that I'm trying to put together called the Mac Attack Entertainment. And this is going to be a studio team, a YouTube team that's going to be putting together projects for people to enjoy. Now, I will let you very let you know very clearly. Anyone has any hate towards my content and anyone has any problems with what kind of decisions I'm going to make on my videos, I completely respect the decision and they have every freedom and right to have their opinion for my projects as long as they don't get very ignorant and rude and act like a troll about it and act toxic. Then, in a way, that's not okay. Welcome. So, yes, my projects can have any criticism needed. That other one that joined, be prepared because I do have some things to talk about in regards to him being involved in my projects as a voice actor, and even better, is helping out on a story development for other projects. So stick around for that one because this is going to be some good stuff to talk about here. So, my projects, anybody can have criticism with my projects. I don't mind that whatsoever as long as it's not like some of the DC fans, how they act certain films. Like they get nasty and say a lot of nasty stuff, like threaten you and stuff like that. That's the only criticism I'm not going to take from my projects. So please be kind and respectful for my projects when giving your honest criticism about my projects. Now, it is time. For the past few days, understood. Cool. Okay, so for the past few days, I have been thinking for the past few days about what could I do with the first project that I was working on. So, during my old videos on my channel, I've been talking about Transformers Rise of a Prime, one of the projects that I have announced back in 2018, I think, on my channel. It was a long, long year ago, and it's my first Transformer stop motion movie to start the my own cinematic stop motion universe of Transformers. I've had a perfect idea of what to do with the film. The only issue was that now I just got the most brilliant idea possible that completely changes every single character that appears in Rise of a Prime and kind of changes almost the whole phase one of the stop motion cinematic universe because of the biggest idea that I've recently gotten for future phases. That's if the first one, yes, trying to make my own like famous studio, but I don't expect it to be famous right away. All I understand clearly is if someone likes it. That's okay. If it doesn't become famous, I'm completely fine with it. I don't care about fame whatsoever. Now, yeah, thinking ideas is hard, especially for me being new to this whole making fan films type of stuff and trying to get all the equipment that I need to get to make these projects and stuff like that. Especially for some of the projects that I'm going to be using the Blender software to try and make. That's going to be a lot more harder. As of right now, I was going to watch tutorial videos on how to do certain things and make things on Blender, but I'll do that tomorrow. Well, yeah, actually, I'll probably have to do it at a time that I don't have to work because I work a job right now, and I'm more of going to bed early on the nights that I go to work. So ever since then, coming up with the changes that I made for Phase One and the future phases of the Transformer stop motion cinematic universe, because of the ideas that I have for its future, that's if Rise of the Prime is liked by a lot of Transformers fans. I'm glad you mentioned about stop motion because Transformers stop motion cinematic universe, which is all stop motion by the way. Rise of Prime is the first stop motion project that I'm going to be working on. So I'm glad you mentioned about stop motion. So because of that, I decided to put a pause for Transformers Rise of Prime. Doesn't mean it's canceled. Don't worry. I'm just putting hold on it till I prepare myself and exactly know exactly what I'm doing with this universe until I have all the equipment that I need for it and get fully arranged in what my thoughts are going to be for what I want to do with the cinematic universe so far. I've done so much changes with Rise of Prime to where I am kind of right now not sure how I can pull this off. And like making a realistic Cybertronian background open world for the stop motion film itself, that's going to be one thing that I'm going to have a lot of a hard time to think about. Oh, and you're going to need stuff to do it because if you're doing like a action stop motion, you are going to need some green screen support stand. Yeah, exactly. So, Transformers Rise of Prime is one of the projects in the project slate for the Mac Attack Entertainment. Let's talk about the next Transformers project that's going to be in the slate, and that is one that I've been wanting to work on for a long time, and that is Transformers Faces of Darkness, my remake for Transformers The Last Night. So I'm going to tell you this right now. I've been very, very clear at my honest opinions about The Last Night as a film. I remember when The Last Night came out in 2017, and I said it was the most awesome movie ever. It was the most phenomenal movie ever. As older and more mature, and as I start to realize that some films start to get crappy, that I'm starting to realize more and more often that Transformers The Last Night, when watching it now, I cringe a lot. And I question in my mind, like, how did I think that this movie was phenomenal when it came out? Like, granted, the action is great and all, but, like, how did I think it was funny? Why did I think it was funny? And why did I think it was a phenomenal movie? When I now realize the whole problems and the issues that The Last Night as a film truly had. So I started to figure out some early concepts for The Last Night that was supposed to happen. So instead of Quintessa, we were supposed to get the Quintessons. That would make a lot more sense with the whole meaning of creators in Transformers Age of Extinction. That basically led up to the Quintessons instead of the whole Quintessa thing. But I'll manage, of course, to give Quintessa a role in my own version of it and have her like be a student to the Quintessons. It sounds very interesting. Yeah. So my idea for this is Transformers Faces of Darkness is going to have things that The Last Night didn't have. It's going to have everything that's supposed to originally happen in The Last Night, like Optimus meeting the creators themselves, the Quintessons, along with confirmation here, the replacement of Infernicus being Menasor, and also you can expect to see Decepticon Tarn in this project too, which I'm very excited to bring Tarn and Menasor to this project. Now, other people from G1 that you know of might end up making appearances in this remake of The Last Night. Tarn, hell yes. Yeah, yeah, it's because Paramount has been making Michael Bay to make more Transformers films, even though he wanted to stop at Dark of the Moon. Plus, the deleted art is what got me not liking The Last Night. Yeah, like the Quintessons not being in it, like that would have made The Last Night made more sense. And Megatron having a dragon mode, you can expect that in Faces of Darkness. So what my thing is, I'm gonna be making this stop motion remake of The Last Night. And are you working on it? Right now, I am not going to be working on it, but it will be a project that will be developed for the Mac Attack Entertainment. As I will go ahead and explain later on with the third project, there will be projects take a lot of time. They are not a quick one and done thing. I've learned that from how movies are made, hearing stories about it. Like the projects take long and you got to be sure that you're happy with this project. You're happy with what they want, what you want it to be. So, what my plan is to work on one project at a time because working on both of those at the same time, that is highly, highly difficult. Now, Transformers Faces of Darkness, this is me trying to bring back the original cut of Transformers The Last Night that we were supposed to have that introduces Megatron's Dragon mode, the Quintessons, along with adding some of my own things. That way, I'm not entirely copying Michael Bay's original plans. Add my own things and my own twist to it. That way, I'm not entirely remaking something that's owned by Paramount Pictures. So, obviously, trying to fully be careful with the whole copyright part. Now, next project is one I'm happy to be working on, or at least working to be a part of the project slate of the stop motion. Well, not stop motion, project slate. Not all these projects in the project slate are stop motion. Transformers Rise of Prime will be stop motion. Power Rangers The Wrath of Zed. This is a sequel and follow up to the 2017 live action Power Rangers movie reboot. I will tell you this right now. I absolutely love that movie. As flawed as that movie has been, and as slow as that movie have seemed, I love this movie a lot because it gave me so much nostalgia. The movie to me is a whole nostalgic ride. It felt like the original Power Rangers classics that I used to watch as a little kid. And when I first seen that Power Rangers movie in 2017 in the theaters, oh my god. I felt like a kid. No joke, I felt like a kid. And although I don't think the way they did Blue Ranger in the reboot is not the way he's supposed to be in the originals, but I like Billy, the Blue Ranger in the reboot. Because let me tell you one thing about me. I have autism. And one of my favorite things about the one thing I really like about that new movie was them making Blue Ranger have autism. The way he acts is kind of like an autism type of person, and I like that. It's like with Billy's role in that film, they are paying respect and homage to anyone with autism, and I truly respect that and love that in every way. And the Power Rangers movie, it was such a big nostalgic childhood ride that I absolutely could not help but to say, despite its flaws that movie had, I had a guilty pleasure of loving that movie because that was one of my absolute favorite franchises back in my days as a young kid. And after watching the film, I really like what they did with it. They exactly like how they set up them. So Billy for the sequel, he can learn. Yeah. Now, again, like I love the movie a lot, and it bummed me out a lot after hearing that the movie didn't do good in the box office because, again, the critics didn't really like it, and it's sad that the movie didn't perform well in the box office. Well, at least I don't think it performed well in the box office. I'm gonna have to recheck, but people didn't agree with this film and they didn't really like it. And I guess it led to Saban Productions giving thank you for being a part of the stream. Have a good night. But this project, like the Power Rangers movie, didn't do good to where Saban gave the rights to the property to Hasbro. And sadly, we won't get a continuation of the 2017 film now, even though they hinted at the end credits to the Green Ranger, Tommy Oliver, which is a bummer to me because that was one way to set up a sequel. One way. And now that the film didn't do too good and they're no longer doing a sequel for it, now we have enough stories being left untold here. Like, just because a certain amount of people hated how this film was made. Like, that I don't understand. So that is why I want to do a sequel for this film. And to go ahead and tell you what this sequel is going to be about. The Wrath of Zed exactly is what the film is going to be. Rita Repulsa has failed her mission. The Power Rangers, after defeating Rita Repulsa a few days later, or let's say a few months later, or however many days later, they're living their normal lives while continuing to fight to save the world as Power Rangers. As you heard the Red Ranger said at the end of the first movie, we'll be back. Saying that to Zordon when Zordon was telling him to keep the it suits you. And the Red Ranger says, we'll be back for it. Obviously, they're going to be fighting some evil things to save the world as Power Rangers. Actually, I'm back. Okay. Alright. Cool. So, as you missed, I was talking about how the Power Rangers 2017 film didn't do too good to where Hasbro gained the rights to Power Rangers, and now we're no longer getting a continuation of the 2017 film. So that is why where I'm coming in to talk about why I'm going to be doing this fan film, continuing the saga after the 2017 film, and with the film being about after Rita's defeat, the Rangers are going to be doing more of living their life until two threats emerge to be the Power Rangers' greatest threat ever. And this is going to be, of course, Zed as the big bad, and Rito Revolta, the skeleton guy, who is supposed to be one of the servants of Zed. Zed and Rito Revolta will be the main villains of the Wrath of Zed, and I can't wait to show you guys what these characters are going to look like. That's obviously going to wait until I start learning to make stuff on Blender, like scenes, animation, posing, 3D models, sculpt these type of characters to make them look accurate to how they look in the films. Now, yeah, Rito Revolto. So I'll show you. Hang on a second. I'm gonna pull them up. Come on. Rito Revolto. Okay, so this is Rito Revolto. If this thing loads, it's my phone is barely loading anything right now. Okay, so this is going to be a little blurry, but this is Rito Revolto. This is who you're going to see alongside with Zed in the sequel. So the idea is there is Zed and Rito Revolto. They're going to be the biggest threat. Are you doing Power Rangers versus Transformers? I have not made any announcements for that yet, but I will consider that. I will I will do some notes, and I will put that in and consider possibly doing that project very soon. Besides, I think I have one crossover in thoughts of doing. So, Lord Zed and Rito Revolto, I mean. I thought you were talking about the crossover. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I wasn't talking about the crossover. I wasn't talking about a crossover. I was talking about Rito Revolto, this villain from the old Power Rangers series, who is going to be one of the villains of the upcoming Power Rangers 2017 sequel. He's going to be a. That's fine. Not everyone has to watch me immediately. That's nobody has to watch my content immediately. That's fine with me. I don't have any updates. Okay, so if you want to stay updated with my content, all you have to do is just hit the notification bell on my channel or videos, and it should notify you on my channel videos. But I do have to tell you, YouTube is very weird. Okay, you did that? Okay, so I was gonna say, because YouTube is kind of weird with the notifications sometimes. I often don't get notifications all the time with people I'm subscribed to. So, right, right. So, Lord Zed, and Rito Revolto, after discovering that Rita has failed her mission, they are going to be the most strongest villains of all time. They're going to be the deadliest, most menacing villains of all time. They're going to be even more insane than Rita Repulsa. They're going to mean business as villains. These villains are going to be so bad that the Power Rangers, they're going to have a hard time facing these threats and having to like, so pretty much Thanos. Yeah, Zed's gonna be like the Thanos of the 2017 Power Rangers. This project actually sounds pretty good. Thanks. I'm very excited to be doing this. I'm excited to do this, and I wanted to continue the story. And I figured after hearing that Zed is kind of like the big bad of the original show, I figured what perfect way to do the sequel by including Zed in it. It's Ranger Thanos. Yeah, Ranger Thanos. Yeah, it honestly is. I can't wait for it. Rita Thanos. Yeah. So, yeah, the Power Rangers themselves, they're going to deal with a struggle facing these two villains. And also Tommy Oliver, Green Ranger. In this project, he's not he's going to be a character where he's not going to be the best Power Ranger, but he's going to be a character who is going to be trained by the Red Ranger. So he's going to be like new to the whole Power Rangers thing. So while he has the green morph stone, he's going to be learning how to use it. And Zed is going to be going after it. So Tommy Oliver is also going to be somewhat protected by the Power Rangers because the Power Rangers know. So instead of Rita training him in this universe, Jason trains Tommy. Interesting. Yeah, because again, like in the credit, if you remember in the credit scene of Power Rangers 2017, you do see someone in that bathroom, not showing it, but a green light just comes out of the bathroom. You see a green flash coming from the bathroom. So it kind of teases Tommy Oliver in that school. So we already know that Tommy Oliver exists and he already has the green morph stone in this movie universe. We already know that. So obviously, I thought what better way to do Tommy Oliver in the film is, of course, have him be trained by Jason, the Red Ranger. And of course, yeah, there's going to be some major stakes with the Rangers trying to live their normal lives while trying to hide their identities from their families and loved ones while trying to face the two deadliest threats that Zordon has known about throughout history and knows because Zed is the reason why Rita Repulsa is evil the way she is. Yeah, this is a Power Rangers movie I'm doing. Yeah. So I am proud to confirm that the project I will try and start filming for Blender first, after learning it, is in fact Power Rangers The Wrath of Zed. This film will be what I'm going to be working on after I learn Blender, how to use it. Because I've seen that you can make live action looking cinematic videos via Blender. And I've seen that type of thing can be done with that fan film Transformers Rise of Unicron that's coming out by David, which you watch those videos and you see how that dude and the whole Transformers fandom is doing everything, pouring their heart and soul to make their final chapter of the Bayverse. It is looking phenomenal. And the way that they made Dragonstorm in a drone footage they recorded, the way they made Dragonstorm look via Blender, just it looks so real. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try and do that with Power Rangers 2. Make it look as live action as possible, even though I'm gonna be doing that animation style wise on Blender. So I'm not recording in locations. I'm gonna be doing my best to make like a realistic world via Blender. It's gonna be hard, yes, I know. But that's why I'm gonna be learning how to use Blender. So I can do the impossible. Now next, for the next project, Lady and the Tramp, Scamp's Adventure, the live action remake. So I know what people say about Disney live actions. They suck. I can't disagree with you. Well, yeah, I can't disagree with you. Same here. But I do agree. Disney live action, they suck. They are unoriginal and they change everything so much. It is ridiculous. It's like live action Milan, I really didn't like. I even hated spending like $39 or $59 just to watch that movie after watching it. Just, yeah, yeah. But it's funny though, because I used to like Disney live action because on this day, I still love the live action Jungle Book. And I still, on this day, love the. Oh, what else was it that I actually liked? Okay, live action Aladdin. I actually liked that, and it turned out a lot better than I thought it would be. And I thought Will Smith did amazing as the genie, and he definitely did his role in honor of Robin Williams, which I really respect Will Smith for that. But I better not continue to speak about Will Smith because we all know how he's treated by the world after smacking Chris Rock in the Oscars. Yeah. Um, some Disney live action films was good, like Jungle Book, Lion King, Beauty and the Beast. Yes, okay, yeah, Beauty and the Beast. Absolutely love that. I don't remember watching the animated, but I loved Beauty and the Beast's live action. Lion King, nah, it was okay. It was trying to not change everything entirely, and I respect that. I respect that completely, but I do agree the facial expressions of the lions kind of were lackluster. But otherwise, it was an okay movie. I thought that the live action Lion King, it to me it didn't suck. It was okay. I enjoyed it for nostalgic reasons. Just I do think they could have should have done the emotional facial expressions done a lot better because I hate to tell you right now, JD McCreary's voice acting as young Simba, it was so good. And when he does his sad, emotional lines from Mufasa's death, the expressions did not. I almost got sad, but the lackluster of expressions of sad expressions ruined that scene for me. While the voice acting of young Simba crying by the legend himself, JD McCreary, he did that emotional line perfectly. I nearly cried because of that. But ever since then, the live action movies were just not good. Now, I will tell you right now, I thought Cruella was okay. Thank you. I appreciate what you said. Have a great night. But yeah, like Cruella, I thought was fine, but it's just another one of those you're gonna change things for the unnecessary reasons. Just like Cruella was an interesting movie, but again, I don't think it was phenomenal. But I only thing I thought was phenomenal about it was I thought Emma Stone as Cruella I thought was absolutely phenomenal. I thought that was the only phenomenal thing about Cruella. Cruella was an interesting movie and it was okay. I didn't think it was phenomenal. It was just another let's change things for the unnecessary reasons possible. But Emma Stone killed it as Cruella. She did amazing. But other films have not been okay. They've been terrible. Pinocchio, I've seen the drastic change they did with the fairy, and it's gonna happen with every character. That's the new Hollywood for you when it comes to Disney. But I will keep interests in the upcoming live action Lion King sequel that they're gonna do that's supposed to tell like the origins of Mufasa because we barely have heard origins about Mufasa, so of course I'd be signed on for that Lion King live action project. So, for the live action Stamps Adventure, I'd like to discuss and talk about first, let me address a situation here. So, one of my voice actors for the project, who is voicing the dog Mooch, who you remember in the original Stamps Adventure, the animated film, was voiced by none other than Patrick himself from SpongeBob, which I did not know until now. I cannot believe I missed that. But again, Scamp's Adventure, it's one of my childhood favorite films of all time. And after watching it, reliving my childhood moments, watching it on Disney Plus, I had the idea of doing it in live action. Making it faithful to Scamp's Adventure while adding my own new things and twists. That way I don't get hit with the copyright bomb. So, obviously, one of my actors is kind of getting a little impatient when it comes to needing the script. Now, probably, I don't think he's heard me talk about many times about how I don't have everything that I need to get this stuff made and how new I am to making these projects. Or I don't remember if I told him that I've made that I would tell him when the script is done. I don't remember if I told him that or not, but I told him before that I'll let him know when the script is done. Last time he asked, "Is the script done?" was February 2021, I think. And as of today, August of 2022, he asked me, he thinks the project is canceled and is delayed, and he has expressed the possibilities of wanting to leave the project because he's growing tired of waiting to do lines for a script that's not even started yet. And he wants to live his normal life. Granted, I understand that. I want to live my normal life too while working on my projects. Everyone wants to do that while working on their projects. But again, I don't have everything that I need to make the projects. I don't. That's the thing that I'm going to have to live with until I learn everything that I need to learn. That's crazy, man. Yeah, it is crazy. But look, I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all for wanting to leave. I told him it's not canceled, but I told him what was going on with the project, and I told him exactly what I needed to do with the project, and I told him that, but if you want to leave, then I'm fine with you leaving. It's your choice, and I will respect it. So obviously, I told him it's cool that he can leave the project if he wants to, because I understand people wants to live their lives, but at least just please have patience for me, because I'm still new to this whole thing. I'm still trying to do this for the first time ever, and it's not easy for me. And it's hard enough for me knowing that I don't have everything that I need right now. So, now to talk about the details of Scamp's Adventure live action. So, we have the whole cast and crew fully casted, except for a, I forgot a few characters because one of the actresses had to leave their role, which I think is because they thought that I wasn't going to make the film ever and I was lying. Which I granted, I, that's not the case. I'm still wanting to work on these projects. I just don't have everything that I need to make them yet. I haven't learned everything that I need yet, and I'm still trying to learn the stuff. But again, respect the decision of someone leaving. That's someone that I am willing to be. I am willing to respect anyone's decision of leaving a project. This is going to be a project, yeah. And that's the one thing that I will have to kind of tell. I think I even told that actor that these projects don't take time. I'll tell you when the script is done after telling him, before telling him about, like, like I told him that the projects take time. I said that the script, when it's done, I'll send you the script. But I don't have everything learned yet to do this stuff. I prefer, yes, I'd love to record all the lines, but I need a script for that. And I don't have that yet because I have no idea what being a director is like yet. I still need to learn that. And I can't start working on the scenes without the voice acting, of course. So, the live action Scamp's Adventure, while it's going to have the same plot story, Scamp wanting to go out and be a wild dog since he's tired of being a house dog. Obviously, joining the Junkyard Dogs. He wants to join the Junkyard Dogs, meets Angel. You already know the story if you've seen Lady and the Tramp 2 Scamp's Adventure, either on DVD, VHS, or right now on Disney Plus. This will have a lot of different things that I'm going to be doing differently than the animated version of the film itself. I plan on doing some things differently in the project because Disney is a horrible, horrible company when it comes to copyright. Granted, I will tell you this right now, all of my projects, they are free. They do not pay. All my projects do not, will not profit. I will not profit, and no one will profit out of my projects. For the sake of copyright reasons, my projects will remain free. Unless if it's an original project that's not based on a copyright company, then of course, if a project is original and is not based on a existing franchise, then of course I'd be fine with making money and profit out of it. But if it's based on a franchise that exists, no, that's not going to be for profit. Like, for example, I had been asking them why they left they had to go on new life. Just don't want to be in a group chat and some had project they need to focus on. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, and I will definitely tell you right now that I will definitely do some good old back storytelling for some of the characters that we've never got backstories to, like Buster. We will get a origin story of Buster. We will also get an origin story of Tramp in this live action remake. There's going to be things that you haven't seen from the animated in this live action. And I got to tell you right now, I like the whole cast and crew of the project. I like it a lot. They really, from their audition, they've done a great job and they fit the role perfectly. I think they fit a live action counterpart of the characters. And obviously, this project will be also worked on via Blender. Now, one thing that I want to do with this project is some certain scenes when it comes to the owners of Lady and Tramp, Jim Deere and Darling, their scenes will be live action. And my plan is this project is going to probably take more than like 3 or 2 years, and I'm gonna have to be able to like go to other places on my own and film in certain locations that you would think would be accurate to the city that you're exploring in the Lady and the Tramp films. But as of right now, I don't know if I'm ready to move out on my own just to do my own crazy filming live action stuff. I'm still in thoughts of doing that right now. And obviously, I'm also proud to announce that the composer of Stefan Bulagani's Balto 4 Wolf's Destiny Part 1 and Part 2, the composer of that project being directed by Stefan Bulagani on his channel, will be the composer of my upcoming live action remake of Scamp's Adventure. And I can't wait for this because I can't wait to be working on this project because obviously I've heard some of the soundtrack and music for Wolf's Destiny, and I gotta tell you right now, I like how this soundtrack sounds. It sounds amazing, and obviously hearing the newest track he released, wow, just wow. It's the greatest thing that I've heard. And obviously, showing him what the music is like in the Scamp's Adventure movie, seeing what he could do with those songs, it's going to be amazing. And all the actors who's going to be singing the songs too. This is going to be very, very good for anyone who's a fan of Scamp's Adventure. Sorry, my throat felt a little sore there for a second. Now, I've already everyone knows what Transformers: Rise of Prime is already. The origin story before the War of Cybertron, Orion Pax and Megatron, what they deal with the Autobots and Decepticons before the start of the War of Cybertron. Of course, this movie is about the rise of a Prime and the start of a war on Cybertron. So I'm not going to explain any further details about that project because I think by now everyone knows what this project is. Next project is Goku, son of Bardock. Now, I have made some new changes that I'm going to be doing with this project, and I will tell you right now, and I will hate to say this because I feel like I'm going to get some backlash from hardcore fans of Dragon Ball Z. not really the biggest fan of anime, and I'm not really that big into Dragon Ball Z right now. I will tell you though, I used to watch Dragon Ball Z when I was a child, and that was Dragon Ball Z Kai. Back when 4Kids CW for Kids was a thing. I think it was a thing. But 4K Kids, they had Dragon Ball Z Kai on there. I used to watch that all the time, and I enjoyed it. Why I'm not the biggest fan of Dragon Ball Z right now is because I've grown older and I've grown more interests to other sort of Hollywood things. So, of course, I'm not the biggest nerd with Dragon Ball Z. The original idea was for me to, as I would love to do research for the project, just to do this film. But I decided that I have a friend who knows everything about the lore of Dragon Ball Z. He talks to me about this stuff all the time. And I haven't told him about this opportunity yet, and I will. But I am thinking about you guys are not ready for this because my friend, who is the biggest fan of Dragon Ball Z from Super or to any of the old Dragon Ball Z shows, he's going to be, and he might be, the director of Goku, Son of Bardock. This film is going to be a prequel film in live action, and I will tell you right now, this is going to be full-edged live action, not on Blender. This is going to be full live action, but the flying and power scenes they will be made out of Blender, and I can't wait to give you guys, show you guys an amazing work that my friend can really make because he really knows his stuff with Dragon Ball Z. Obviously, the film is about after Goku was sent to planet Earth from his planet's destruction by Lord Frieza. Goku has to live a life of being a human. But until he discovers his past and what his powers are, he starts to uncover how powerful he truly is, and he starts to see and he realizes that his new world is in danger as major threats emerge to destroy the last son of Bardock. Next project, of course, is one I'm super excited for, which is also going to be a full-edged live action. Superboy. One of my favorite, absolute favorite characters of the Young Justice series. Superboy is going to be introduced, in my own perspective, in the Snyderverse after the events of Zack Snyder's Justice League. Now, I don't expect nobody to think this to be canon because, again, this is just a fan film. Not everyone has to think fan films are. No one has to think that my fan films are canon to a franchise. I don't expect anybody to think that. I may have some story of Superboy, maybe. All right, we can just you'll have to tell me about that another time, tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Well, tomorrow probably because I'm going to be at work this Thursday. And obviously, telling it on the chat could possibly spoil it if we end up choosing that type of story. Now, my idea for Superboy is to introduce Superboy in the Snyderverse after the events of Zack Snyder's Justice League, and obviously I already have an idea of where how Superboy is going to be introduced in the Snyderverse, and it's going to be a great one because it's going to have a lot of references from Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice to the events of Man of. There's going to be a lot of references to the events of Man of Steel to Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. It's going to be so cool to do, and the first ever debut of Connor Kent, Superboy, in the Snyderverse era, it's going to be cool. And the one thing that I'm going to want to do is, of course, if I were to ever meet Zack Snyder one day, I would ask him, how does he do his films? And would he mind if I made my fan film set in his DC universe? That's my one goal, is to meet Zack Snyder himself, and that's one thing I want to do. Because I've already met one famous person, and that is Brian Hall. You may know him to be the voice impersonator who does a lot of Disney voice impression videos. I met him at the Columbus Zoo, which was the greatest day of my life. The greatest day of my life. And it was a major accomplishment of something that I never thought that I would ever get to do. Meet famous people. Not only did I meet Brian Hall at the Columbus Zoo, but Tony Bancroft, one the person who brought Pumbaa to life in the original Lion King, who also helped out making the story of Milan or Milan. Crap, I forgot what movie he did the story for, but I forgot what he told me. But yeah, I got to meet someone who worked at Disney, along with Brian Hall, who you also not only may know to do those videos on his channel, but who also recently was the replacement of Adam Sandler as Dracula in Hotel Transylvania Transformania, which of course, if you watch this following video here, well, I'll give you the link of the videos on the description below of this stream. But if you do go to that video I made based on meeting Tony Bancroft and Brian Hall, you will see a clip where I meet them. And of course, what voice did I make Brian Hall do in honor of his new role, replacing Adam Sandler, because Adam Sandler didn't want to return for the role. That's from what I've heard. Brian Hall, I had him do the Dracula voice, and obviously he sounds exactly like Dracula from Hotel Transylvania, which is absolutely incredible. So, and also I heard I seen that on Instagram that GalaxyCon is supposed to happen in Columbus, Ohio this week. Not this week, but this December. And this November or December, but I seen that the guy that voices Sonic the Hedgehog in the games today, Roger Craig Smith, he's going to be there. And so what am I going to want to do now? Well, go meet him. Go to that GalaxyCon event, or at least if I make a lot of money that I want to make from my job, get to meet as much famous people that I want to meet. That's if I have the time to and I'm able to, because knowing how big the lines are and getting the signatures, there are times when you're not going to be lucky on getting a signature and getting to meet or take a picture with that famous person. Like I got to take pictures and get. Well, I forgot. I didn't get a signature, an autograph from Tony Bancroft, but I did get a autograph from Brian Hall on my Columbus Zoo mask. Not mask, but hat that I got, which is super cool, by the way. But, like, my plan is to get to meet the Sonic actor of today, Roger Craig Smith, because I am a fan of his voice acting work as Sonic. Now, do I think now am I choosing does that mean I hate the previous iteration voice actors? No. I still love the previous voice iterations. Jason Griffith still is awesome. Ryan Drummond still awesome. So obviously, Roger Craig Smith, I can understand why people have their criticisms with that guy, but I think he is probably one of my newest favorite Sonic actors ever since he's pretty much he's the reason why I started to become a fan of the Sonic games, because Sonic Generations is the game that introduced me to the Sonic character in general. So that's why my goal is to meet Roger Craig Smith, see if he could do his Sonic the Hedgehog voice. Man, that would be so cool. And of course, I would like to meet Zack Snyder as well. Hell, maybe the whole Zack Snyder's Justice League cast. That would be awesome. Until we further know that Ezra Miller is being a better man, since we know Warner Brothers Discovery is offering Ezra Miller the help he needs now. Thank God. Something that the old regime of WB couldn't ever do. So I'm keeping myself cautious from Ezra Miller till everything that's said about him is confirmed true, which not all of that is confirmed true right now. Sure, there are footage showing him doing the following things, but you gotta think he could be dealing with something in his life. And literally, he said something about getting mental help from that confirmation he had about how sorry he was from all the behaviors he's caused. Now, Superboy, I want to pay a lot of respect and homage to what Zack Snyder created with Man of Steel and his Superman. And I really want this to feel like a Zack Snyder film in every way, with good storytelling, obviously. That's something I want to do. Now, to the next project I am so excited to talk about, Shadow the Hedgehog Untitled Game Sequel. So, I know that people has hate shown so much hate with the fan game Sonic Omega, and I figured out why that game got hated, because the studios that made the game and the people that made the game, the person that made the game, said that this game was not to make profit off of Sega. When actual people actually showed there was actual cancel culture people who actually decided to show real evidence, because we all know that in cancel culture they'll use lame excuses and false evidences to try and prove something when it's not true, while there are people who will actually find real evidence showing that this person had a Patreon account started, where he started a donation thing where he was asking for donations to make money off this game, profit off Sega, and a lot of bugs and glitches that this game had. So, while I really love what this dude did with the story and the game, I do not respect this developer whatsoever for lying about making profit, not making profit, because that is fucked up. I love the fan game Sonic Omega, but I don't like what the developers did by making profit out of it. I don't like that whatsoever. Yeah. So, just thanks to the Sonic Omega game, that made me inspired to have me want to do my own first fan game to attempt to make. To not only want to try and make TV shows or movies or projects on my channel, but make my own fan games for people to enjoy playing. And this is where the first Sonic fan game comes in. A continuation of the Sonic spin-off Shadow the Hedgehog, which was a game in 2005. Shadow the Hedgehog, the Untitled Game sequel, I am so excited about, and I'm proud to confirm that in the chat right now of the live chat, Lord Mega Andy is helping me out with the story writing, the storytelling of Shadow the Hedgehog's Untitled sequel. And I gotta tell you right now, without spoiling this story is going to be absolutely mind blowing and is going to be one of the most unique storytellings of all time. Something that you would have never thought to be in a Shadow the Hedgehog game, period. And I do gotta say, right now, what I plan on doing for Shadow the Hedgehog's Untitled game sequel as a fan game, I'm going to create it using the Unreal Game Engine 5. Now, I'm going to have to learn if my laptop is suitable and meets the requirements needed to run that software on my gaming laptop, or if I have to buy and upgrade my gaming laptop to a new one, because I fear that that's what I'm gonna have to do with the Unreal Engine 5 being free to download. And obviously, I want this game to be as realistic as possible, and I want this game will have returning features from the first game, which will be motorcycle levels. They will be making a comeback return. You will see the return of weapons being used. You will see dark and gritty storytelling tones make a return. So this isn't going to be the straight out of the normal kid tone storytelling that we get in every Sonic game today. We are going to get the return of other Sonic characters helping you in certain levels, like Sonic, Amy, Knuckles, Tails, other characters that you may know of and heard of, helping Shadow in fighting enemies in levels. And the big, amazing thing that I want to talk about of this game will be open world. And this will have side missions as well, where you can save people from enemies. And this is going to have major challenge into it. This is something that I am truly excited for. I can't wait to start the development of Shadow the Hedgehog's Untitled game sequel. For now, it's Shadow the Hedgehog 2, but as I will continue to call it, Untitled game sequel, Shadow the Hedgehog 2 is not the final title. While 2 will still be used, the title is yet to be finished. So you will get the full finalized title very soon. Final project to talk about, and that will be the major end game of the live stream. TMNT 2, the sequel to the 2007 animated film TMNT. Everyone has grown up with this movie, obviously. I have grown up with it. When I seen it, when I watched it when I was young, I absolutely loved the film. I was a big diehard fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I've always watched the 2D animation cartoons on 4Kids TV, and they were such great cartoons and probably one of my most favorite franchises of all time. After seeing that this animated movie was going on to being made in 2007, I was absolutely excited for it. What makes me more excited to work on this sequel is because of how I want to go ahead, and while there are people who remembers this as their childhood favorite and they say it's the most masterpiece full filled of a movie, while there are other people around the world saying that it was a meh movie with a meh storytelling, which but the creatures thing was kind of a weird approach for the movie, but this is kind of going a whole far away with the whole normal Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles always fighting with the Shredder and the Foot Clan. So I understand what they were doing with the film, and obviously watching the clip, I still remember James Arnold Taylor being Leonardo, and oh my god, I never knew that he was the one voicing Leonardo growing up. I always knew him to play as Ratchet, the Lumbax from Ratchet and Clank, and the iconic "Hello there, Obi-Wan Kenobi," and he still voices Obi-Wan Kenobi today, and he still kills it. He still kills it. But after finding out that he voiced Leonardo in TMNT 2007, I was like, "Holy crap! I didn't know this." And now watching how he did that role, he really nailed the role of Leonardo in this film. Like, and also Nolan North, the guy that voices Nathan Drake in the Uncharted games, who also voiced Raphael in the 2007 film. I did not know that. And they both did amazing. And still, one of my most favorite scenes of all time in the 2007 movie of TMNT was Leonardo versus Raphael. I thought that was one of the most interesting, the most darkest scenes of all time. It was so cool, and it had such an impactful feeling for a scene because you realize that again, like the whole movie started off with Leonardo finally returning after kind of leaving his brothers for a long time, and Raphael hated Leonardo for that. I love the idea of that being part of the story of TMNT 2007. So now the idea for TMNT 2 is to go back to the normal Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles route of things and do the normal Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus evil foes. Now, which villains do I want to bring back in this sequel? That I'm thinking about right now. But obviously, I can assure you right now that TMNT 2007's sequel is happening, and I'm going to be officially directing the project, and I can't wait to make it because this also will be made fully animated on Blender. And my idea for this is to keep it as accurate looking as the 2007 film possible while improving the graphics of the world and the characters and making them a lot more detailed to fit the animated films that we get today that look seriously real. So that is all I gotta say. So that is all I gotta say. This 1 hour of talking about the entire project slate for the studio of the Mac Attack Entertainment. I still have ways to go to include people as part of my team, the Mac Attack Entertainment. And if you want to be a part of this team, of this YouTube studio, the Mac Attack Entertainment, let me know on the comment section below. And also, if you want to join, don't forget to join my Twitter community. Now, obviously, read the rules because the rules are important. You can also see some announcements further going on later. And I will assure you that these projects here that you have seen confirmed by me right now, these aren't going to be the only ones confirmed. I will inform you immediately if I have a new project being announced. But in the meantime, I got to focus on my main priority in hand. Learn how to use Blender, and after that, develop Power Rangers The Wrath of Zed. What a great project announcement. Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. I'm happy with this slate, and I can't wait to improve on it and add more projects. Because I tell you right now, there's going to be more projects added to that slate. But my idea is, of course, is to complete one or a few projects before adding that. But I don't mind adding a new project to the slate and making the scales of the logos of the projects smaller just to add new logos in there. So there we go. All right. That is all I got. I am going to go ahead and relax for the night. Thank you guys so much for tuning in on the stream, and I had a lot of fun addressing the project slate and announcing what the projects are and talking about them. And just bear with me on how I make the projects, because I understand some people will think that I am lying about releasing these projects and that I'm never going to release them and I'm just wasting everyone's time. That is not exactly what I'm doing. I assure you, I am wanting to do these projects. I just don't have everything that I need to do them. And I haven't learned everything that I need to learn. So, obviously, and again, projects are just like movies. They're just like Hollywood movies. As I've learned from online internet, talking about how movies were made behind the scenes, films take time to make. So, it's got to be about, you got to think about how someone like me who wants to do everything in his power to make these things good for people to enjoy and have any criticism they want to have for it, as long as they're not acting like a jerk about it. And these projects, they're going to take time. And especially with me not learning a lot of things all at once yet, this is going to take probably more than 3 or 4 years for me to get all of my accomplishments done. So, again, just please bear with me and have patience with how I'm trying to handle with making my projects and handling with working on the scripts. I'm still yet to learn everything. And one of these days, I will learn everything. I assure you that. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe down below for more videos in the future of this channel. And if you want more updates in this video, don't forget to click the bell and the notifications below. You should get more notifications on my channel. But a little fair warning, if you don't get any notifications from my videos, obviously, there is a weird part of the notifying system that YouTube does where not all the time YouTube will notify you, but you should get notified about my content. But you're not going to get notified all the time because YouTube is very weird with this stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I will see you guys in my next Project Slate stream once I add a new project into the list. The Mac Tech signing out.